Welcome. The Let's Play Rule the Waves 3 as Germany, starting in 1935. It's episode 76. Nearly 1,000, or sometimes over 1,000 you turn up every time I do an episode. And loads and loads and loads of you do comments as well, which I read everyone and I try and respond to everyone. A bit of a lag. But I really, really appreciate it. And it really impacts my play. In fact, we go and have a look here. I've been having a bit of a tweak because of things that you've said and like that. So if I go to the air groups, first of all, and go sort by role. So I've organized the maritime patrol aircraft into squadrons of 8. A lot of them were at their peacetime squadron. These will slowly fill up. You could argue that some of them over in the Mediterranean are probably unnecessary, and I may trim some of them later, but for now, that's a thing. Ditto the medium bombers. And for my light jet fighters, I'm organizing them in squadrons of 12 if they are land-based, and 7 if they're carrier-based. The jet attacks, I am organizing them as 8 or 7, depending on the carrier involved, when I'll show you that in a moment. And the heavy jets are being organized by 12 or 8, again, depending if land-based or carrier-based. And what I've done with the carriers is had a little bit of a tidy up. So I've been disinclined to operate with the carriers because all of the carriers had squadrons with poor ratings. So I've gathered together the poors. So here you can see Otto Liffenthal, which has 4 poor squadrons and a veteran expert. August Parseval is even worse. But it leaves Richthofen as a bit better and Peter Strasser as a bit better. So those two have the bulk of the good stuff. I've also sorted out the structure that I want. So obviously I have a special because nonsense not to. I then have a light jet fighter squadron. This is principally a leftover production. I would have heavy jet fighters, but I probably don't have enough to fill out 3 squadrons worth. Then I'm doing these at 8s, but the Peter Strasser and the Manfred von Richthofen can only have 44 planes, so for them they're at 7s along with the jet attack. Now, I probably made a mistake. I made a mistake in converting these old piston-engined fleet carriers into jet carriers. And the mistake is if I hadn't have converted them, or hadn't converted them all, then some of them would be able to take larger numbers of jet attack and light jet fighters. Now that would have increased the capacity, because in converting them to jets, it's half the capacity of the carriers, and a light jet fighter would have been able to do 1.5. At least that's what I believe. Correct me if I've got the maths wrong. But in my next game, I'll try and run at least one of each side by side, just to see what is the point at which you really should cross over and convert. So, 2 jet fighters, 2 jet attacks, 1 light jet fighter until I've got enough heavies to replace it. Special. And I've done that for each of them. So hopefully that will improve all of them. You'll see that some of them are slightly down. So Liffenthal only has 41, Parseval 43 out of 46, Richthofen 42 out of 44, and it's only Peter Strasser that is fully up to date. Anyhow, that will wind its way through. That's fine. On aircraft types, I'm still hampered by this exotic, romantic notion that I really should have developed helicopters, which has totally got in the way, and I'm going to have to wait another 5 months until I can develop something better. I go to heavy jet fighters and just compare that to everyone else's heavy jet fighters. No, not heavy fighters. There only seems to be two. It's only Britain and myself who appear to have heavy jet fighters. So that's good to know. And we don't really know very much about the short Fury. If we go to jet attacks, the same is true. And if we go to light jet fighter, well, here you can see everybody has some. In fact, some countries have them so much. Like the Japanese have 4 different versions. So yeah, they're loving their light jet fighters. What's noticeable is, again, I have no idea on the quality, so my reliability is poor. I don't know if anybody else is very much better than poor. I did get those average reliability ones that I discounted because the performance was so much less, and you can see here the Henschels, assuming they managed to take off, are far and away the fastest of the jet attacks. And if we find the French, for example, the French are at 500 miles an hour, which is similar to kinds of speeds I was getting at the new jet fighters, whereas this Henschel is at 630. I mean, that's a huge difference. And whilst I can't presume very much, obviously everybody has pretty much the same firepower, and despite my intelligence on France being high and this plane having been knocking around since 1947, I don't know anything else about it. So it's a shame that the Henschel's reliability is poor, but it is, it is a pretty hot jet. But yes, I will be seeking to replace it. Actually, I'll probably be seeking to get a better heavy jet fighter, because that also has poor reliability, and going forward it's the heavy it's more interested in. Whoops, there we go. Oh, actually, I don't know the reliability of my heavy, so I'll have to watch out for that. So I've been sorting through that, been reinforcing my West Africa station so that the invasion of Morocco can actually take place and generate some fun stuff for us. I've noticed that I'm on prize rules for my submarines, and since I'm blockading the French, that is actually pointless because there just aren't very many ships at sea, so I'm going to send them onto fleet support, see if they can't do a little bit more damage. If we click on active fleet, you can see that we've got 1, 2, 3 light cruisers and a heavy cruiser all in repair. So that's a bit of a nonsense, plus several destroyers. And at the other end, we have another 3 light cruisers in working up. So the cruiser force is in a little bit of an inconvenient state, but we'll see what that brings. Finance, 11,500 is still a little bit high, so I may have to watch that. Construction is a long way off. The next up is, in fact, new carrier. So yeah, that'd be cool. One of these new Europas. See those come along. So yeah, let's see what this brings us in terms of new stuff. So a cruiser battle off Norway. Well, that feels like it's a bit of a turkey shoot, and indeed so does the French, so they've declined it. Fair enough. And a convoy defense. Do enjoy convoy battles. Friendly ships not available to oppose enemy in the area. Sorry, it was the North Sea. Why were no friendly ships available? I mean, yes, we're a bit down on our cruisers, but we certainly have cruisers available. Strange. A carrier battle down in the Bay of Biscay. Now, you know what I feel about these things, that this shouldn't really be an area of operations. But persons were provoking, saying, no, you should accept them, and come what may, you're already advantaged in all battles because of your mighty human brain against the paltry AI, so why not put yourself at a disadvantage and see what comes of that. Okay, all right, if that's what you think, let's generate a battle and see what it's going to say about that. Here we go. Okay, so it's my two carriers, Boog 1 and 2, with some screening destroyers and screening light cruisers. Obviously, the brilliant Admiral Top has exceeded his command, so I can add a cruiser. Well, since there's only one here, actually, the Lutzow, which used to be a heavy cruiser, is still in a heavy cruiser division, so I really should change that. I will add in one of these nice Steel class. And then, yeah, let's accept that. Offensive mine laying in shows it like this, like I have any idea where any of these latitudes and longitudes are. I have no idea. 6 destroyers unable to take part. Oh, closest base is nearly 800 nautical miles away, which I assume is Reykjavik, but could be Emden. Enemy ships. Yeah, we'll be lucky to suppress the enemy air bases. And here we are. So let's have a little bit of a look around to see where we are. Speed up to ultra fast. The time is nighttime. It's 2.5 hours before dawn. It's 2 o'clock in the morning, local time. The weather's cloudy. There's a gentle breeze. Nighttime range is 4,000. Daytime range will be 26,000. If you zoom out, you'll see that I am to the west of Brittainy. Brest over here. So quite far out. If I hide base, you'll see in the top corner that the wind is directly from the east. So to launch my planes, I will have to head towards Brest, which is something to watch. We do the search quadrant. Something. And yeah, that's a pretty reasonable shape for where to expect the French to be coming from. Just tidied up my search quadrants there. So, bit of nightcap, 2-phase search, night search, tidied up into just these 4 zones. It's off over here, or indeed over in the Bristol Channel. So, yeah, it's an obvious way to do all or any of that, which then means, shouldn't I be organizing a night strike? So let's have a look at the options here. Interestingly, although I've rearranged the squadrons to all be jets, I still have dive bombers and torpedo bombers, so the conversions haven't happened yet. Well, we'll use them up whilst they're there. Notice the torpedo bombers are actually loaded with torpedoes. Let's ask them to be equipped with guided missiles instead, and us ready that as a strike. Used most of the ship missiles. Oh well, never mind. If we go to Flug 2, I will wait until I get a report Flug 2 before I get planes deck. The objective is simply to make more damage than the enemy. Well, fair enough. Go in here. How many of these are? Whoops! I control. Too many. I put everything under AI control except for the carriers. That's straightforward, and let's be having it. Okay, wind this on. few minutes at a time. That was pretty quick. There was about 18 minutes to get those squadrons ready. Go. Nice. So some of the ships are running out of fuel. There go the little specks of my aircraft. So we're just doing 18 knots, nothing too extensive. Even the Lutzau's running out of fuel. I feel I should be starting to head north or something in order to... This is not all going very well. So... Yes. Wind has shifted ever so slightly to the east-northeast. Ah, right. So, I didn't see that we'd been spotted, but apparently we are under attack by medium bombers now. Our cap has damaged 3 of them, so well done, Cap. Just zoom in a little bit and see if we can see what on earth is happening here. I'm also going to maybe take control of some of this. That's 5. Want them to go ahead of the rest of the force. Pushing it along a minute at a time just to see if there are anyone else. So, no reports on our side from our recons. Lots of nighttime air activity. Night cap. I think fair play to them. The mechanical issues on so many of the planes. Okay, well that seemed to have been brief excitement, so I'm going to push it up to 9 minutes. Poor ready crews, flight decks must be cursing these early jet fighters and their temperamental ways. Here's some French cap been attacking one of our recons, and we have 5 destroyers mentioned here. Do we launch on that? It's tempting. Are we going to get any better intelligence? What would 5 destroyers be doing out there? We will target their carriers. Not that I imagine that will do very much. Coordinate the strike. Select everyone that's ready. Coordinating the strike makes almost no difference. If I uncoordinate it, they will get at 4 minutes to 7, and if we coordinate them, they'll be at 13 minutes past 7. And before it used to be hours. So let's launch those and see what happens, and then go to Fluke 2 and auto-select a strike here. So here we only have the 1 dive bomber squadron. The others presumably have been up and about doing reconnaissance, but fair enough. That still looks like something to get ready. So ready strike. Exit that and see how this all pans out. Here comes Dawn. More French light jets having a pop at our recons. No more reports on this little blue one here. Still the only one. So one of the troubles, of course, is the reconnaissance density, for want of a better phrase, is a lot lower because we haven't got patrol bombers coming out of our land-based air. One of our destroyers has been detached. Let me have a little look at that. Here's the details of it. Z18. I don't think I've got speed priority on my engines. I've got normal, but you can see even normal has a cost for battles that seem to be increasingly at long range. possibly adopting destroyers with reliable engines might be the way of the future, even at the penalty in terms of weight. Okay, carry on. 50%ers. Still no more reports. Minutes. So if okay, that's other strike being ready. When we get some more intelligence reports, if we get some more intelligence reports. So in this little red clump strike. Okay, we've got nothing, so I'm going to go forward 9 minutes at a time. We're dawn. Still just the one report. Comes to anything, or whether they find anything else. Come up with better. Ah, well, boom. At least we did find something, which is nice. Heaven knows what they've actually found. Go to the reports. Well, they think they've found some carriers. I'm pretty happy with that. So the torpedo bombers have launched their missiles. One of the light jet fighters has damaged one, but at least so far they haven't been massacred. And we've hit something. Free ship. There's an enemy heavy cruiser. Man, actually, I don't think the French have any heavy cruisers, so double meh. In is the results. That seems to be that. Does at least indicate to me that if we go back to the reports, that we probably should launch the second strike. Get ready and push that onto one. Never understood the difference between these kinds of reports, which give an actual time, and these, which don't, just say midnight. Whether the ones with an actual time have higher confidence levels than the ones that are sort of like rumored. So let's go for this one that has an actual time and launch that strike. Exit. And then for my lot, oops, it might be time to well, at least the screening ships have actually gone out ahead. That's nice. And keep all on his own, or should have with him. Take him down to cruise speed. Might just start to turn the gears to the east in preparation for them. Think about heading in a northerly direction, because I just haven't got the fuel for the for the ships, not anything else. Okay, so here's next lot coming in. Done. Before launch a missile at an enemy destroyer, and they've hit again. Okay, that's 3 hits. Sort of happy with that. Anything more? Nope, that's it. So at least the reports are all very well clustered. Very happy with that. Zoom in. Most recent episode. Feel this top one. That one. That one. Yeah. Reasonable enough. Up to 9 minutes a shot from, obviously when doing the airstrikes, do 1 minute. Oh, enemy aircraft approaching Destroyer Squadron 6, the Albatross. Well, Destroyer Squadron 6, the Albatross is the screen. Hooray! It's working. Sorry about that. So, some French dive bombers, presumably with evil missiles. Crank them up to speed. No doubt they'll want to duck and they'll want to dive. Wonder if they'll be intercepted by the cap. Enemy bomb the Kolberg. Prince Eugen fires 2 SAMs and misses. The Peter Strauser and Prince Eugen fire their heavy AA and damage 1, and the Kolberg fires its medium AA and damages 1. So 2 damaged out of 5 is not bad. And then a 6th comes along, torpedo bomber. Prince Eugen's heavy misses, but the Kolberg's 8 medium AAs destroy 1 and damage another 1. You good? Let's hear it for medium AA. No hits of anything. That's nice. Send Strasser to the north, and I'm going to send these to the north as well. Go back to the reports. The reports still exactly the same. Mount. More enemy approaching. Now, hopefully, this time we will be able to. We'll be. See, the Peter Strasser keeps on going into the wind. This will be dealt with by the cap. So a couple of heavy jet fighters attack 7 French medium bombers. Or light jet fighter shoots down a medium bomber. Certainly mixing it up. Light jet fighters again shoot down 2 further, so that's 3 medium bombers. Doing pretty well. Able to areas to head north at all. Keep on turning into the wind. Feels like I actually have to say no to cap and stuff like that in order to actually take any directional control. More cap stuff. More enemy approaching. Heavy jet fighters damage. A couple of S's as scout planes. Okay, let's prepare another strike. So I'm running out of air-to-surface missiles. I'm running out of fuel. So I feel like if I don't find anything soon, I'll just need to abandon and see what's going on. I've got these couple of TL-81 naval strike, whatever an S. I don't think that it's a strike, a scout plane. Weirdest thing to be attacked by. So let's see how we deal with that. Okay, the cap downs 2 and damages a third, so nice. Shoots down a dive bomber. So here's my guys approaching them. It's ouch, one of their light jet fighters shot down one of my heavies. Definitely mixing it up with the dive bombers and the heavies here. So we seem to outnumber them. They're ones and twosies. 3 dive bombers launch a missile against an enemy heavy cruiser. I don't think they have a heavy cruiser. Yeah, so if that does anything. The French light jet fighters shooting down a dive bomber and damaging a heavy jet. Thrilled at that. Zoom out. French. We just get rid of some of the very oldest ports. So, seem to be down there. That seems to be a good indication of where they actually really are. So, log. Not in a position to launch another strike at that lot, but that would seem to be good play. Interesting weapons. Enemy light jet fighters shoot down a couple of dive bombers. Ouch. The third. Shoot down another. Massacre. Who would be a pilot in the mid-1950s? Look at this, taking them down. Shoots down damage, shoots down. Ow. Not going to be a lot of the bombers left. And of course, because their pilot experience was poor to begin with, going to remain poor with whoever up. So there they are, ready to go. Wait for the remainder. Everybody. Everybody. Go back to the strike. Select the ready. Up the target as being the most recent. 67, so perfectly reasonable distance. Coordinate for a strike at 20 past 10. That's great. Launch them. Exit. I feel in my bones that that's probably the last strike of the day. On. It's going to be one of those kinds of missions. See these screening destroyers. They just sail. I mean, I've got them at 15 knots. They just sail happily north, and with the carriers dinking around, so easy for them to get in position. So we are attacking a light jet recon. They are finding us, though I haven't seen an official spotted message yet. Shot one down, which is great. Shoot down one of our torpedo bombers. Yep, we're having a on 5 jets. Here we are approaching some enemy ships. We seem to be having some success against our heavy jet fighters, shooting down one and damaging another. Not enjoying that at all. See if this strike does anything. Enemy missiles at a corvette. Choice. Ouch. French shoot down 3 torpedo bombers and damages a 4th. Just really think it's not worth putting the carriers in action until the jet attack comes along, because this is almost a massacre. At least missile did hit something. Maybe a corvette, maybe not. I think that's the end of that attack. So, I mean, good news, we are fending off their attacks. Bad news, yeah, it's all a bit complicated. I'm going to tidy up some of these reports. Having tidied them up, this is the rough position of those reports, which is you know, pretty good considering. Back to the log. Move ourselves 12 at a time. Drinking all over the place and mainly going in the wrong way. It's the right way for air operation. Or my little destroyers have gone into the lead again. This very much despite sailing along at 15 knots. So it tells you, with all the movement around by the carriers, that on average they may be heading north, but they're heading north slower than 15 knots because my destroyers keep on getting them ahead. You can see the destroyers moving out. At 18 knots, I turn these around and say, okay, you can go this kind of speed now. Watch how quickly they catch up. That's it. Yes, you may be doing area operations and stuff. Oh, and there again. Now they're almost next to each other. So once again, I'm going to have to go this way. I'm going to actually head them quite at an angle in order to try and get some sort of separation. These are my missile screens. These should catch you missiles, the big boys. North, I'll slow them down to 12 or 10 knots. Yeah. See about the reports. Oof. I'm going to delete that. Care about that either. And, well, interesting, it's going completely the wrong way. So whether they are disengaging, we spotted them when they were doing their operations, because of course they may have been trying to catch us, but every time they want to launch planes, they have to turn exactly the opposite way. So they might be quite annoyed trying to find us. These go very slowly, having the desired effect. Speed. Areas. In. Absolutely refusing around now. Then guys need to go back down. 20% fuel remaining. That's going to be interned, I bet you. Dead 109. I bet that they don't make it back, or possibly, and of course carriers keep on zooming up to 29 knots rather than keeping their crews when they do their air operations as well, which won't be helping anybody at all. 29 knots. I mean, essentially, they are uncontrollable. Where are we? It was still not that far. 195 nautical miles from here, so well within range of stuff. More engine trouble, despite only going 18 knots. Oh well, at least there's dusk approaching. Who said to you, do you know what? Best thing to do is charge along at 31 knots. Absolutely bonkers. So what I'm going to do is take a slight risk and bring the cap down to light. Not doing inches. Yeah, let's just see if we can't get this lot to oh dear. The approaching. So there's 6 patrol bombers trying to level bomb Z-110. Good luck with that. Bad luck. Bad luck with it. Okay, that passed by with. So, and we've shot one down. What I'm inferring is they run out of missiles if they're having to level bomb. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. What are you doing? Nuts. Dreadnought fleet. Let's take the speed down 14. Suddenly lurch. So some medium bombers approaching. Behind. Oh dear. They've launched missiles against Z-100. I mean, good thing rather than launching 3 missiles at the carrier. Here's Z-100, and it's suffered no ill effects. Spoken to soon. Battles. The fleet seems to be getting very raggedy. This stuff down here. See if I more enemy crafts. patrol bombers. So we fire SAMs, heavy artillery, medium artillery, nothing. One of the patrol bombers level bombs on Richthofen, but misses. We destroyed one of the airplanes with heavy artillery and damaged one with the cap. Shoot one down with cap again. So we're very fortunate that all of these are coming in penny packets of 2s and 3s and 4s. That our cap air defense is well able to stay on top of it all. Okay, we seem to be able to move in a coherent direction for once. Good. Stringing along these two. And here we are in the next day off the southwest coast of Ireland. Can't imagine much more to do. Right, enemy ships are near. Airstrikes in the air. Right, here's some more airstrikes. So 5 patrol bombers. 1, 2, 3, bang, 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 shot down. Oh no, an enemy patrol bomber shoots down a heavy jet fighter. What about lucky hits? Zoom in. There they are, little devils. Oof. So 4 come in. The Prince Eugen's SAMs miss again. Eugen hasn't hit kind of a button. But then the heavies, AA of Peter Strasser and Richthofen and Prince Eugen and Kiel and destroyers, combined AA of 71, destroys 1 aircraft and damages 3. That's a very good result for heavy AA. Nothing from the medium or light. Yeah, that will put them up their stride. Is that it? Is it over? Almost over. So 3% risk on these destroyers. I imagine those destroyers are straggling. 2 aircrew search and rescue. Okay, here we are. Let's just zoom in for you. Well, that was a bit more inconclusive than I thought it was going to be. 2 destroyers heavily damaged. Meh. Ship details. Yeah. So, yeah, we got 3 missile hits. They had nothing. So we did hit a French light carrier. Only 14,900 tons. You'd think that would do for it, but no. Missile, medium missiles, superstructure hits, splinters perforate uptakes, aircraft destroyed, fire started. A dive bomber from Peter Strasser. But no. Flooding is limited, then a fire of 3 becomes a 2, becomes extinguished. Yeah. So I'm going to call that a lucky escape. But that one. We take damage. Engine breakdown. Engine casualty. Heavy damage on a destroyer. Wrecked its superstructure. Still flooding, and detached, but manages to survive. medium damage, also wrecking all of its superstructure. Also surviving. Okay, well, not quite what I'd hoped. Let's go back, just see where they had been. Ships. All right. So for a long time, they actually had been ahead of us, and as we'd gone down, they had effectively done the same, obviously determined by the air direction. So, and then quite a bit of squiggling about. Whilst we tried to track north, they tracked northwest. You can see our track north, and then turn to the wind and north, and turn to the wind and north, and turn to the wind and etc. So yeah, like 3 steps forward, 1 step back. So let's come out of that. Marginal victory, meh. Right, improves heavy effectiveness and SAM. Okay, good. Due to uncertain margin of superiority. Okay, let's go look at that. South Korea, we've torpedoed a submarine, a destroyer, sunk a submarine, still got the blockade on them. They won't be enjoying that. They're still laying, how many corvettes must they have laid down? Now they're starting to commission them. Britain has commissioned a couple of carriers. So now we're starting to re-equip with a lot. So that should work its way through. Just go to the air groups and look at these people. So yeah, look at this, poor. Parseval. So a couple of fares before it was all poor. So making them doing some flying and stuff has had an impact. We're nearly up to strength, but not quite. Same here. Yeah, we've got 42 for 46 and 43 for 46. 43. So then these guys mainly good, but again, the jet attacks are fair or poor. But at least now we have got rid of, yeah, we've got the jet attacks coming through, so that's good. Okay. Oh yes, I was going to look at the map and see what the superiority was in West Africa. So we have a heavy cruiser, a light cruiser, and 9 destroyers for 19 total. The French have light cruiser, a light carrier, a destroyer for 9 in total, plus 60 aircraft. Now, I want to move the Scharnhorst over to West Africa, but as you can see, it's still in repair. So I think we'll have to so the Beluga is already there. I only have the 2 heavy carriers, heavy cruisers. So it looks like I'm going to have to send one of the cruisers. So I've got the Leipzig here in the Mediterranean. So I'm going to press M for move and move that to West Africa. And I'm going to move the München and the Breslau. They don't have surface missiles, so I will move them to West Africa. So 3 new light cruisers. It's a bit of a chunk. I mean, we still have these 3 working up, but might be next turn or might be not. Monthly balance, still getting a bit expensive. Might have to make savings. In fact, one saving I'm going to do is, if I look at the submarines, I'm still 8 months away. I've got a chunk of submarines building, so I'm going to take off the auto build, but we're not doing too much here. Actually, go to submarines. We've got some in the Caribbean. I'm not sure they're going to be doing very much, given that we do have a blockade. I'm going to move them to Northern Europe. Got some in the Mediterranean. I might move them to Africa. I'll keep the ones in West Africa, and then these guys can stay obviously in Northern Europe doing their thing. Okay. Yeah, tricky little battle with weak fighter squadrons and attack squadrons, with an unfavorable wind direction, making it all just a little bit rubbish, but still got away with it without any major damage. Who'd be a pilot in 1954 is what I'm walking away with this. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you next time.